You are watching 2+U Nevada, and joining us this afternoon, local boy, made it big, Kristoffer Polaha, an actor, director. You just made your directorial debut.
That's right.
With this amazing movie that we're talking about, Mimics.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you
What a
for
pleasure.
being
Yeah,
here.
thank you.
So this is super cool because if you didn't know this, Chris grew up here, went to local schools, high school, you went elsewhere, but this is your hometown, and it's been your dream, you said, to make a movie and bring Hollywood to Reno.
Yeah, it has been. I remember seeing Pulp Fiction. So I went away to boarding school to be a doctor.
Okay.
I thought I was going to be an orthopedic surgeon. I thought I'd come back to Reno, open up a clinic. No kidding. Like fix hips and elbows and broken femurs. Like that was going to be my jam. And then I got into a play freshman year. Long story, but the quick of it is I did this play called Streetcar Named Desire, and the play really was the thing. And all of a sudden, the community of people and these actors who were all seniors and juniors and deadly serious about it, I just fell in love with it. And it was like finding out that you could throw football really well. Like all of a sudden, I was good at something, and I was good in a way that separated me from the rest of the kids in my high school. And it just became the thing. So I called my parents freshman year and I said, Mom, Dad, I know what I'm gonna do for a living. And they were like, what? And I said, I'm gonna be an actor. And they're just dead silence on the both. They were like, what happened to orthopedic surgery? And I was like, just keep paying the bill of the private, because they sent me to boarding school.
Right.
I went away to boarding school. But then I went to NYU. But before I did that, the summer between my junior and senior year, I came home, was in Sparks, watched Pulp Fiction in a movie theater, and all of a sudden I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I was like, and I don't know why, but it was like this impression was just like, I'm going to make a movie. It's going to be in Reno. I'm going to make it independent. And I was like this, it just became this track that I set myself on, to the point where I said, I know I'm going to go to NYU. I'll study acting. I'll get into the business via acting, but then I'm going to pivot and I'm going to become a director and make movies. I don't know why. I don't know how. It's been a plan. And I think about when I started acting till now, I was 14 years old. So it's been 33 years of my life.
Oh my gosh.
Of just sort of pushing and driving and kind of all this energy. And it came to.
So let me ask you, because you did release Mimics as an independent film, but now you have a premiere here in Reno tonight, your world premiere, but it's going to be in movie theaters. So how does that work from an independent release to now it's in movie theaters?
So that's exactly what that is. So the first time that the movie ever showed was at the Cordillera Film Festival here in Reno, Nevada. And so we had our festival world premiere in September. And we have a distribution company called Panoramic Pictures that Ken Carpenter, who's the gentleman in the black hat, right there, this guy, Ken Carpenter, we had a choice. We could have sold it to A24, or we could have tried to sell it to Neon, or we could have tried to sell it to Sony or Fox, or a bigger distributor, Warner Brothers, a bigger distribution company. But we knew that the minute that sale happened, that would be it. Our hands would be off the wheel. We wouldn't have any control over distribution. We wouldn't have any control over the poster. We wouldn't have any control over if it even made it to theaters. We would have just said, thank you for the money. Here's your product. We're out. And Ken and I were like, well, what happens if we just hold on to this thing? And what happens if we just try to push it all the way up the hill ourselves? So we got in touch with Panoramic Pictures. They're out of Nashville in Arizona. And they agreed to pick it up. And we have approached this company called Artifacts out of Chicago, and they're the ones that are placing us in theaters. And so we have a nationwide release on February 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Which I love, because it's a little...
Because it's
a fright light little spooky movie.
Right.
Yeah. And it is, honestly, I hesitate to use this word, but it's nothing shy of a miracle. Like the fact that the movie got made was a miracle. The stories behind the movie getting made are truly, I mean, you and I could talk for 2 hours and I could tell you every layer of how this thing came into development, and you and I would both be in tears by the end of it because it's so deeply personal. And truly, like, it's a miracle. When anything gets made, it's a miracle. But then the fact that we're in theaters, I'm talking to you right now, the back of my hair just stood up because it's one of those things that it rarely happens, and the fact that we pulled it off. Now, here's the thing, Reno. We're in 2 theaters. It's the Sierra Summit 17 and Sparks Victorian.
You're coming home to
Coming
the
home.
Sparks,
Yes,
where you saw
where
Pulp
where it all
Fiction.
started. Exactly. So it's
Oh
so
my
full
gosh.
circle. But you guys, people have to show up, and
Yes.
the tickets got to get bought, and you gotta show up and do the thing, because otherwise it's kind of a moot point. And if we do the thing on opening weekend, and if people show up, and if people go and support this thing just for the sake of supporting it, but also getting entertained, it's a fun movie.
So tell me about the movie. This is about a down on his luck impressionist.
Yes, exactly. He's a guy from Reno named Sam Reinhold, who is an impressionist comedian, and he one night decides to dedicate an act to a much more famous ventriloquist impersonator named Don Fletcher, who publicly sort of dies. In the beginning of the film, we learn he dies.
Okay.
And so he says, in honor of Don Fletcher, I'm going to do this thing. And he brings a puppet on stage. And that moment attracts this thing. We don't know what it is. It's an entity, though. And he is attracted now to Sam. And this invitation shows up. And Sam is invited to join an elite society of entertainers and news anchors and athletes and artists. And all he has to do is sign. And there's no one with the invitation. And so he decides to sign. He takes a shortcut, and bad things happen. Although good things happen at first. He becomes meteorically famous.
But it's also, he made a deal with
He makes
somebody.
a deal with something.
Fergus.
Yeah.
So he made a deal with somebody. Okay. And then we just had Ari on earlier in
Who's
the
wonderful.
week.
Who plays the madam. Who's
Okay.
the agent. Yes.
And she
yes.
called her character deliciously, what did she call her? Like deliciously naughty or something like that.
Yeah, she is deliciously naughty in the movie. She came in and crushed it. She had 2 days where she had to come in and have these huge tracks of dialogue while wearing a sheer sort of wild. We wanted her to be out of time and out of place. I wanted her to elicit, frankly, lust. Like she had to be so seductive, almost like a web, so that Sam is like, he walks into this environment and everything is bright and everything is beautiful and everything is like hyper alluring, and it's like a web. And this dude gets caught. And it was a tall order, and she absolutely crushed it. Everybody in the movie. I'm so proud of the actors in this film. And Mark Oakley and I met, and he wrote it, and he's from Reno. And I mean, it's a cool story. I'm telling you, it's a really cool story.
Well, don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Because we're going to continue this conversation. Stay with us. You're watching 2+U Nevada.